Morning guys, William here with Patriot Containers. Want to finish up this 6-part series of the 6 different conditions of what containers are that the shipping lines inspect for so us companies can buy. I've already done wind and watertight, cargo worthy, and IICL. The most educational video that I've done so far is describing with what wind and watertight is to you guys, and especially to the customers that don't know with what it really is. And then when the other companies are selling it to you incorrectly, that's how you get containers that are bad. And that video, I mean, if I could send any video to anybody, that would be the one. This video is going to be about as is. I still have I have damaged, as is, and new one trippers to go over. This one's going to be about as is. As is worse than wind and watertight. So damaged, as is, wind and watertight, cargo worthy, IICL, those are all used, and then new. As is below wind and watertight. Wind and watertight can be the ugliest container you've ever seen with no holes. When you guys as customers get containers delivered to you, they were sold to you as wind and watertight, but when they show up with holes, it's not the driver's fault. It's not that there was no inspection before it went out, obviously. As is containers are old, decommissioned containers. Their life is over. They're no longer allowed on the oceans, and they're sold as is. The reason bad companies purchase these is because they're cheap. The problem with selling them and delivering them, though, is as is has holes, and they can be probably the worst looking container that you can buy. And I'm talking about not surface rust, heavily corrosion. So a lot of these companies that I'm warning you about, that I'm exposing in my videos, when you guys get containers with holes, they sold you wind and watertight. They purchased you as is. When a truck driver goes to pick that container that they have purchased for you has a release number. That release number is what the driver needs to use to pick up your container, have it loaded, and then take it to your property. That release number, and I get this a lot. Everybody always thinks that when a driver pulls up to a depot, it's first off the stack. That's not true. You have new ones. You have ones that are inspected for IICL, cargo worthy, wind and watertight, as is, and then damaged. There's a release number that comes with the container that they purchased for you that the driver has, and he walks up to a window, gives that release number to a lady at the booth, and then a forklift operator goes and picks up that container. If the word as is on the release number, if that container comes to the driver and it has holes all over it and it's the worst container in the world, it ain't going back. That's the one you're getting. If it says wind and watertight on it and the driver notices that it has holes, now the forklift operator can take it back. Yeah, just as is. Another thing funny about this industry is I've called the competitors and done, how many times have I done this? I think I've done it twice in 11 years. And back to me again, I've been doing this for 13 years. I've owned my own business for 11 years. In those 11 years, I've probably sold 15,000 containers, and I have no employees. But in 11 years, I only have 3 complaints. And if you ever read my complaints, I think maybe two are on Google, and then 1 or 2 are on Facebook. They never bought a container from me. So I don't have any complaints from actual buyers, and I've sold a ton of containers. I also don't purchase fake 5-star reviews from overseas companies like these other companies are doing. These other companies, they're getting bad reviews. They're not accountable for their actions. And then when you get a horrible service and a horrible container, they leave you out to hang and dry. You leave a bad review, and then they have to purchase 8 to 10 positive reviews to push that one down so you don't see it. And then also so it doesn't disrupt the algorithm for their score, which is usually a 4.6 or something. If you go to their Yelp, they have a 1-star rating, and all their fake paid for reviews have been taken down by Yelp. So they're only left over with just horrible reviews from customers. But back to with what I've called these companies. They, and again, the dead giveaway on a bad company. We're nationwide, lifetime warranties. If you don't like your container in 30, 60, 90 days, we'll give you a full refund. They also have a thing on their website called terms and conditions. And when you click on it, it's 14 pages long to basically never be accountable for anything that they've done wrong. I highly recommend you guys go, if you're searching for a cargo container and you're talking to a company, go to their website and click on their terms and conditions, and then compare with what you're reading to with what you've been told. It's not the same, and it's very misleading. The terms and conditions on their website basically protects that company from doing any wrong to you as a customer. But I've called these companies. I think I've done one call to one company and one call to another company. I recorded the calls, I took them down, and it was mind-boggling on how stupid these sales reps really are. They're not telling the truth. They're selling with lies to make you make an emotional purchase. But here's what they say. Everybody, they're not brokers, everybody else is, which they are brokers. They don't own their own trucks and they don't own their own depots. They purchase like from shipping lines just like everybody else. So they are brokers. But then they say, well, our wind and water tights are hand-picked and inspected for this and this and this, and every other company sells damaged and as is. Well, they all say the same thing, but if you read all their complaints, you'll see the damaged and as is products that company has actually sold and delivered to their customers. It's so funny too, is because these companies are guilty of what all the other companies they're saying about the other companies. They do purchase damaged and as is containers. They sell wind and watertight, and then they purchase damaged or as is. I've even seen a complaint on a guy that bought a brand new one, and the door was just twisted and mangled, and it was obviously damaged. I never even knew in 11 years that I could buy a damaged one-trip container. I've never seen that. How did they get that? I don't know. How did the driver pick it up and deliver it? I don't know. The customer obviously paid top dollar for a perfection and got damage where I wish I could show you pictures of it. It's on the internet. But yeah, these companies are so guilty of doing bait and switches that they sell one thing, they sell a bunch of lies along with it, and then they deliver you a horrible product, and then there's nothing you can do about it. They're going to charge you a cancellation fee. They're going to charge you a restocking fee. If you think that they're going to do their 60-day money-back guarantee, they're not telling you that you're going to lose delivery money, cancellation fee, restocking fee, and if they have to come back and pick it up again, you're gonna lose the delivery twice, whatever that was. So you're just not going. You're not even going to get half your money back for something that you didn't even do. But back to as is. That's what this video is about. As is are retired, old, decommissioned containers. Some have holes, some do not. So when you have a company that's selling you wind and watertight, and then a one with holes arrived, they didn't buy and purchase the proper container for you. They purchased a lower quality container so they can make more profit, more commission, and they don't care if it has holes because their bullshit warranty is JB Weld or a fiberglass patch kit. And it's just wrong. I highly advise, if you're watching my videos and you actually find my videos before you buy a container, as is almost the worst. Wind and watertight can be the worst with no holes, but these companies sell you as is containers with holes. If you want something that's not going to make you mad, purchase cargo worthy. Purchase IICL. Don't say no to a new one. I know it's a big pill to swallow. If you do buy it and you're standing and it gets delivered and you're standing inside of it, you ain't gonna worry about the extra money you spent on it. You're gonna just be like, oh crap, I'm so glad I bought this. It's out of the way. I own it. This is mine. But a lot of people don't want new ones. About 20% of my sales are new containers and 80% are used. But I hate using these videos as sales pitches, but I almost have to, because if you call me, I'm going to sell you the correct product at the correct price and have it delivered on the right day. So if you buy cargo worthy from me, your paperwork and everything on it is going to say cargo worthy. If you buy IICL, all your paperwork is going to say IICL. If you buy a new one, it's going to be a new one, and it's going to be delivered on the right day. And I use no tricks and no lies to sell it to you. Now, if you watch my video and you call one of these crappy companies and you go, hey, I want cargo worthy, they're still going to sell you the same crappy container, because on their terms and conditions, they'll sell you a new one and they'll only sell you one used. And on their terms and conditions, it describes only one condition, and it's this is voided, this is voided, this is voided, this is voided, and they're not giving you the options to buy better containers. I've even read complaints on these companies of people are paying more for better containers and they're still delivering as is containers. And I know this video is about as is, and I know a lot of my videos it's a lot of repeat information. And I do this because I should have done these videos 5 years ago, and because nobody is giving you guys this information. I used to work for companies just like the ones that are ripping you guys off, and I watched these companies evolve to where this container industry is actually getting worse. 90% of companies are trying to rip you off with salespeople that are sitting at home that are not selling these with the truth. They're not caring about what you really want. They're just making a sale so they can make a commission. And it's wrong, because you're buying a 5,000 pound 20 footer or an 8,000 pound 40 footer, and you're at the mercy of what they bring you. You're at the mercy of when this thing's on your property, you can't take it back, and they're going to make it impossible for you to return it. They say they have these lifetime warranties. They say they have these money back refunds. It's all covered in their terms and conditions of why they don't have to be accountable. I know it sounds great when you're placing an order. I really do, and I understand it. But it's unfortunate that the truth of somebody that wants to help and wants to deliver the right product and wants to do everything right, so you're not misled and you actually will be happy, the truth doesn't sound as good as the lies anymore. That's the whole point of my videos. But back to as is. They're old retired containers. They never look good. I could purchase them cheap, but if I sell them to you, I'm going to have complaints all over the internet. I haven't sold junky containers. When I first started my business, my motto was tell somebody the truth, deliver on the right day, give the customer with what they wanted. I knew that other companies weren't doing that. But about 1.5 to 2 years into it, I realized that there's 3 types of customers. You could be male, you could be female, you could be mean, you could be nice, you could be whatever. I don't know who you are when you call me, but I kind of look at it this way. If you buy a new one, you're going to be amazingly happy. If you buy a very nice used one, there's a chance maybe 1 out of 50 you're going to complain about something. And then if you're the customer that goes, I just want something cheap with no holes, I don't want to hear a word you have to say, and just give me your cheapest price. And they don't care about anything other than price. Those people complain all the time. That's why these companies have so many complaints. One of these companies actually called me one time ranting and they were ranting about my videos because I was making these videos about their companies, exposing their business tactics, and they were furious. Well, one of the ladies left me a message saying, blank, whatever company it was, only gets complaints because the customer bought wind and watertight and the company didn't tell them with what it was. Well, that's my point. She literally just said it. You guys are buying wind and watertight containers. They're not telling you with what it really is. They're telling you lies to sell it, and then you're unhappy. If it was sold to you with the truth, you might not have bought it. But if they sold you a better one, they were going to still sell you the same one anyways. But truly, 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 when you guys buy wind and watertight containers and a container shows up with holes, they did not sell you wind and watertight. They sold you a lesser, lower quality that cost them less money, and they were crossing their fingers that it had no holes, and it showed up with holes. Well, they got you covered. Their lifetime leak warranty. Oh, by the way, their warranties do not cover anything on the doors. The door seals, if the doors are bent and they don't shut, if they don't latch, their warranty does not cover that. It only covers holes. So they can send you a tube of JB Weld or a fiberglass patch kit. That's not even a permanent fix. It's a way to shut you up and say, hey, that's our warranty. Now go away so we can continue ripping people off. But yeah, when you guys get containers with holes in it, it's not your fault. It's not the driver's fault. It's not the depot's fault. It's not bad luck either. They purchased you a horrible product and they were hoping that it wouldn't have any problems. And it's 100% the company's fault when you guys get containers with holes. That's it. So they sold you an as-is or damaged product. As-is, old retired junk. Some have holes, some don't. They look like shit. So pardon my my cussing every once in a while. I'm very passionate about what I do. I provide a real service in this industry that doesn't provide you a real service, and it's just amazing that this industry has gotten this bad. What else was I gonna say? Oh, I was watching. I don't, if you're watching my videos and you want to leave a comment, I don't know if this is a good setting. I don't know if I need a green screen and weird stuff that pops up to make my videos, I guess, YouTube-ish or something, or trendy. I'm just not that type of person. I wonder if I did that, if I'd get more views, but I think over the years these videos will make traction because nobody else is exposing the cargo container industry like this. They're not. They might talk about scams. They might talk about how they don't sell bad containers and they only sell good ones. But if you look at all their complaints, they sell bad containers. So it's all... My videos aren't sales pitches. My videos are helpful information about the cargo container industry that if you're actually looking for a container, you probably need to see this to understand it. Now, if that makes me a sale and you call me, great. I'm glad. But I can't sit back and do nothing with what's going on. I used to work for bad companies. I hated it so much I started my business. Been doing this for 11 years. I tell people the truth, I deliver on the right day, and I show up with good used containers. Not bad used, good used containers, and new ones. And there is no tricks, there is no restocking fees, there's no cancellation fees. It's my customers always come first, and I actually come last. The other companies that are nationwide, money back guarantees, lifetime warranties, they put them first, covered in their terms and conditions, and you last. If you do the research on these companies, you're going to read that all these customers that believed in with what these companies are saying were duped and stuck and screwed, and they file all these complaints on BBB, Yelp, and Google. And it's kind of sad, to be honest. It's sad. I've talked to so many people where I'm literally trying to help them and tell them 100% the truth, and they don't want to hear it. They literally want me to lie to them like these other companies. I can't do it. Sorry. No. Yeah, this is the funny thing is I've been doing this longer than all these other companies that are growing out of control. But guess what? I have pride of knowing that I am the way better company than all those other idiots. They provide a crappy service. They wouldn't sell a container to their own mothers, and they know that the companies that they are working for are horrible, and they don't care because they don't have morals and standards. They're just low leech scum people that are selling and ripping people off, and they don't care. They just don't care. And I just, when I was a teenager, I had, I lied, I cheated, I stole. I just don't do that anymore. I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't steal. I'm just, anyways. So guys, hey, today's Friday. What is it? The 22nd? Yeah, 22nd of August. Have a great one. Goodbye.